The BMR Super Saloons were combined with the TinTops, kicking off proceedings at Snetterton on the 9th of October. A warm and sunny day greeted the 18 drivers who for the first time this season had to go through the full scrutineering, and all drivers managed to get through to take to the track for qualifying. This would of course see Rod Birley take pole position once again. Alongside him was Gavin Dunn in his Class B BMW. Behind them was Ronan Bradley and Nick Sutton, both putting in fine performances in their cars, with Chris Bassett doing his giant slaying once again, this time 5th overall, nearly 10 seconds quicker than the next TinTop. Sean Fairweather would finish 6th, with Andrew Mackenzie next, Mark Ripps, Martin Scott and Dave Charlton completing the top 10. Your pole positions in each class would be Rod Birley in Class A, Gavin Dunn in Class B, Chris Bassett within Class T2, Sean Fairweather within Class D, then Martin Scott will be Class C pole with Dave Charlton in Class T1 pole. Ian Seal, Angelo Massinetto and myself would take the poles in TP, T3 and T4 respectively, but saying that we were all each in a class of our own.
Red lights will go on any minute now, and then they'll go out. When they do go out, we go racing here at Snetterton. They go at any second. Now we're underway here as they get down towards turn 1 for the first time. Good sprint away from the second row of the grid for the Nick Sutton Evo 10. But down into Richie's for the first time, and it is Birley who leads. It's done in second place, and the BMW's already moved up quickly from the 3rd and 4th rows. There's Ken Angell's BMW. So Birley, done. Then it is 67, Andrew Mackenzie. He started from the 4th row of the grid. A mega jump from 7th to get it up to 3rd already. I think that's probably dropped back a little bit. I thought it was Ronan Bradley, but he's up there in about 4th or 5th position. So we'll keep tabs on our first few cars as they go through the opening few corners.
The first race saw Birley lead from the start, with Dunn slotting into 2nd position. Sutton quickly moved up into 3rd position with Mackenzie in 4th. Bradley would stay in 5th position, Bassett surprisingly keeping in touch with him in the early stages. After the swaps early on, positions remained fairly static. That was until lap number 6 when Bradley found a way past Mackenzie into 4th position. Up front, Dunn was keeping Birley honest. He actually clocked the fastest lap of the race whilst chasing down Birley, but didn't quite manage to pip him to the flag. Further back, Sean Fairweather had a lonely run to 7th but did win his class. Martin Scott was in 8th position, just ahead of Ken Angell, who'd got a fast start but eventually would finish 3rd in class. Dave Charlton would win that T1 class in his Seat Leon. Cripps kept the pace in his group and would take 10th position, with Graham Richardson finding his way past Steve Dan on the final lap. Strangely, the Volkswagen Scirocco shed a wheel on the slowing down lap. Thankfully the wheel did not collect anyone and Steve still managed to finish the race. Ian Seal drove well to keep Jack Whitehead behind, Jack having a spin himself early on in the race but fighting back and putting in some good lap times in the process. Angelo Massinetto would win his class once again, and so would I, towards the back of the grid. The only retirement from this first race of the day would be Nick Wall in a slightly smoky Ford Fiesta. So to round up the class winners, Rod Birley would win Class A, Class B would go the way of Gavin Dunn, Class T2 would go the way of Chris Bassett, with Sean Fairweather winning Class D. Martin Scott would take his BMW E46 M3 to Class C win, with Dave Charlton just behind him taking the Class T1 win. Ian Seal put in a fine performance to finish 14th overall and win Class TP, Angelo Massinetto 16th overall in Class T3, and myself 17th overall and winner of Class T4.
So, as it was on the front row for the first race earlier on, is going to be Rod Birley and the BMW of Gavin Dunn alongside each other. Who's going to get the sprint off the line? Everyone formed up in 2x2 formation. Race 2 of the day for the CMMC Southern Super Saloons and TinTops, all set to get underway. Watch the red light on top of the marshal's box. It goes at any second. Now and away we go. Top start again from Birley as he shoots away from pole position in the Escort. There was either contact or a slow starter because there has been contact, I think, because that is Andrew Mackenzie's BMW that has damage to the right front. I think it's been clipped by the Nick Sutton Evo, because the Sutton Evo, the Nick Sutton's Mitsubishi Evo, was all out of shape on the run down the straight, and of course the piece of bodywork there was sticking up on the side of Andrew Mackenzie's car, so I'm confident that there's been a bit of side-to-side contact. Maybe Mackenzie misjudged the start a little bit, either that or Sutton misjudged the start a bit, or Mackenzie got a better start and there was contact as he moved out of the way. But even so, there's damage to the BMW. I think it's possibly, hopefully, cosmetic damage rather than anything mechanical, but the Evo continues on. So now there is Gavin Dunn's BMW under threat from Nick Sutton. That doesn't appear to be harmed either, so that carries on. And Mackenzie's car has got enough pace to try and pull its way through, to try and get back into third place if it can. There's Ronan Bradley's car, the white and green BMW. The Fairweather Sierra's up there in 6th position. Now they turn out to the left-hander at Hamilton, into Oggies again. They started the opening lap of this race, and I think the reason why you can't see Rob Birley is because he's pretty much gone already in this first opening lap.
Rob Birley would take the early lead, but it was a frenetic start behind him as Mackenzie made a good start, seeing him go 3 wide into Riches. Dunn was initially in second, but Sutton had powered past him on lap number 2. Birley was going well out front, but unfortunately for him, on lap number 3 he'd have to pull off, seeing his day end early. He would go on to compete in the modified Ford races on Sunday and once again win his class in his first race there.
Oh, Rob Birley's out! Oh, Rob Birley out of the race. More mechanical problems for the Escort WRC. That's a real shame. I was really, I think many were looking to see if you could possibly go towards win number 700, but I think hitting that tally, I'll have to wait another day, I'm afraid.
As Birley was pulling off the track, Sutton, who was behind in second, was momentarily distracted and allowed Dunn to nip past him into the lead. But 1 lap later, Sutton was back in the lead, powering past the BMW to take the lead in his Mitsubishi.
Back with our lead battle, and Nick Sutton glides his way through up the inside into Brundle, gets it stopped for Nelson, turns his way in, and the Evo's back into the lead, but the BMW will try and come back at him if he can. There's quite a bit of back and forth between these two. I think it's a good run off the corner, and he might look a little bit of straight line speed, but he looked a bit more confident going into Coram than the Evo did.
It looked like the Mitsubishi driver was going to take his first win after a fantastic drive, consistent lap times and putting out fastest laps throughout the race. But then unfortunately, with a few laps to go, his exhaust came loose and in a shower of sparks he pulled into the pit lane on the final lap of the race, allowing Dunn to go past and take a slightly surprising win. But fair play to Dunn, he did a great performance in the first race, and a win overall was certainly not undeserved in the grand scheme of things. All of this would see Mackenzie cross the line in second position, but he would have a 10-second penalty for the early start, seeing him drop behind Bradley. Bassett putting in a sensational performance once again would see him 4th place overall and the leading TinTop as always. Sean Fairweather was once again a little bit lonely in 5th position, but a fantastic result within Class D. Dave Charlton would this time finish ahead of Scott and also ahead of Angell to win his class. Richardson would secure 9th position as Wall drove from the back to a top 10 in his non-smoky Ford Fiesta. At the back, Whitehead, Seal, Massinetto and myself would complete the finishes. To round up your class winners, Gavin Dunn would win in Class B, Andrew Mackenzie, even with the penalty, would win Class A, Chris Bassett would win Class T2, and TinTops overall in 4th position. Sean Fairweather, another lonely race, but once again taking Class D. Dave Charlton, 6th overall, Class T1 winner. Martin Scott would win Class C. A notable mention to Nick Wall from the back of the grid in his Class D Super Saloon to take 10th overall and 2nd in class. Ian Seal, Angelo Massinetto and myself would all win our classes TP, T3 and T4 respectively. Once again, we were the only entrants in class. Another fantastic weekend with the CMMCS. You'll be seeing a video of the Intermarque silhouette coming up very soon. They raced on the Sunday solely, so some exciting action there and some interesting conditions to start the day in qualifying, where rain would hit the track in the middle of the session. Be sure to tune in soon to watch that video, it very much will be exciting. We look forward to seeing you there. Goodbye.